episode 101.
Are you ready to take your eBay business to the next level? Then hold on, because Ron and Ali are going to take you into the fast lane with the latest tips and insights from some of the biggest and most successful sellers here on the So You Want to Sell on eBay podcast.
Welcome once again to another episode of So You Want to Sell on eBay. I'm Ron LeBeau.
And I'm Ali Young.
Hey, everyone. We have with us today Nathan Hirsch. Nathan, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
I'm doing great here in St. Louis. How about you, Ali?
Great to have you with us, Nathan.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So Nathan is a serial entrepreneur and expert in remote hiring and e-commerce. He is the founder and CEO of FreeeUp.com and the co-founder and COO of Portlight. Nathan started his e-commerce career on the Amazon marketplace and successfully built a $7 million business within 4 years. After seeing the potential of using remote workers within his first business, he founded FreeeUp to make the remote hiring experience simpler for all e-commerce business owners. FreeeUp now provides reliable e-commerce workers to hundreds of clients around the world. Nathan is an expert at building efficient systems and processes, sales strategies, and business management, and currently lives in Orlando, Florida.
I love it. So you're a serial entrepreneur. What's that? I mean, is that like, normally serial before a word's not a good thing, but what's a serial entrepreneur?
Well, I'm on business too, and I'm hoping FreeeUp blows up and becomes the next big Uber and big company in the world, but there might be business 3, 4, and 5. Who knows?
I'm sure there will be. Gee, I mean, that's amazing. You've got so much stuff. So you built a business up to a $7 million business within 4 years.
Yeah, so I was a broke college student looking for extra beer money on the side.
Nice. And a lot of beer money. Obviously, a lot of beer money there.
Exactly. And I got pretty pissed off that the bookstore was ripping me off. I would spend hundreds of dollars on a textbook, go to sell it back. They would give me pennies on the dollar. So I was like, screw it. I'm just going to start buying other people's textbooks and making the money myself. So I offered better prices than the bookstore. Before I knew it, I had lines out the door with people wanting to sell me their books. And I made a decent amount of money that way. What I quickly realized is carrying around books all day was not fun. And I definitely didn't want to do that the rest of my life.
Right.
So books naturally led me to Amazon and eBay because I would sell to different bookstores, but I also found selling on those third-party marketplaces was pretty nice too. Mm-hmm. So I started experimenting with that, and I became addicted and obsessed with Amazon. And so what I did was I wanted a way to not touch products that I was selling. So I came up with the idea of drop shipping before I even knew what drop shipping was. I didn't even know what the word was till years later. But the concept of selling products I didn't have, getting orders placed with me, placing them with the vendors or suppliers, having them ship the products to the customers, and making the difference is my margin. So before I knew it, that business had blown up. I was running a multi-million-dollar business out of my college dorm room, hiring anyone that wanted to work for me. And I ended up making some really good hiring decisions, like my business partner, Connor, who still works for me to this day. And I made some terrible decisions, people who just wanted to drink beer all day instead of work for me. So I kind of learned a lot from that process. And hiring has always helped me expand and grow my businesses, which we'll get into FreeeUp a little bit later.
Damn. I mean,
that's really awesome, man. I mean, you're a young guy right now. I mean, Nathan, you must have had an entrepreneurial spirit since you were probably really, really young, right?
Yeah, so my dad's a teacher, so he always wanted me to go the conventional route and get a full-time corporate job. My mom's a teacher too, but she's an entrepreneur. She started her own school, and she just retired this year. So I kind of got to see her when she was at a very small stage in her business to growing it large to retiring and reaping the benefits. So I kind of saw that drive and the amount of hours that she put into it. And it was always very impressive and something that I wanted to do.
That's really cool, man. Congratulations on your successes already. I mean, seriously, you've got a great mindset for, you've got the attitude that, the sky's the limit, really. I mean, and it has been the limit already. I mean, you are reaching for the stars and you're shooting for them and you're touching a lot of them, man. You're making them happen.
Thank you. And I'm telling you, I couldn't have done it alone. I remember when I was running my business for the first time and it was just me and I was working every day and I talked to my accountant for the first time and he's like, when are you going to hire your first employee? And I was like, what are you talking about? I love working. I love what I do. I don't want to pay other people. It's just money out of my pocket. And he just laughed in my face. He's like, you can't do this forever. At some point you need a vacation. You're going to hit a limit where you can't grow. And I took that advice very seriously. And I quickly realized that hiring people that were the exact opposite of me, people that could do things that I couldn't do, really made me look good and helped accelerate the companies at a level that I couldn't do by myself. So I really try to preach to my clients to do the same thing, to focus on what you're good at. If you're good at sales, do that. If you're a good designer, hire a marketer, whatever it is, really complement you in a good way.
So, this is a good point, and I know Ron and I have run into this particular issue ourselves, but when is the point that you start doing that? So you got a business, it's not making a lot of money, bringing someone else on board, the payment, you're going to have to pay them wages. Is it going to be worth it? Letting someone else, how do you go about all of that stuff at the beginning?
Sure. So there's two real ways to go about it, right? You've got the tasks that you do every day, and sometimes it's hard to expand your business because you're too caught up in those repetitive tasks. So you can hire lower level people if you don't have a budget to take stuff off your plate so that 90+% of your time is focused on sales, marketing, and expansion rather than answering customer service emails, doing the bookkeeping, things that don't really expand your company. Then there's the other method, which is, okay, I'm kind of stuck in my business. I could go in a lot of different directions. I don't really know what lies on the other end in those directions. So let's hire an expert to come in, audit my company, tell me what to do or what his advice would be, and have them take the business to the next level. And really, the time to hire is when you are making a little bit of money, when you have that budget. It's not in anyone's best interest for you to spend time hiring someone just to fire them in 3 weeks because you ran out of cash. And I've seen a lot of people do that. If you're going to hire, make sure that you can commit to it, because a lot of time hiring is an investment and you want to get a return on that investment, but very rarely do you get a return on that in the first 2 weeks. It does take a little bit of time, and you have to keep putting training and money into it in order to get whatever you want out of it.
Yeah, and I guess there's a lot, to that point, when you consider hiring somebody, you got to take into consideration there could be a family at stake here. If you're hiring a man to do some work there, he might have a wife and kids that depend on this. So don't take it lightly, and make sure that you are prepared to plan for what you're going to be able to do for that person.
I agree. I remember the first bad hire I made that was 100% my fault. That person did nothing wrong. His skill set, I totally misread his skill set, and I ended up firing him pretty quickly after we had hired him. And I didn't sleep for over a week. I felt terrible. I knew it was the right decision for the business, and I owed it to the other people in the company to make that decision. But you don't want to put yourself in that position. You want to make good hires. You want to put yourself in position to succeed, and you want to put the people around you in position to succeed as well.
Ron and Ali will be right back after this short break.
Do you want to set yourself apart from other eBay sellers? Want to look like one of the big brands? How would you like to feel confident that you could do it yourself, but know that the support is there if you get stuck? Now you can create your branded eBay store and have your store doing more. With Auction Pro Template's premium do-it-yourself eBay template. This template is loaded with tools and features you won't find in any other system. Go to yourstoredoingmore.com now to see what's included. That's yourstoredoingmore.com.
Be sure to check out SoYouWannaSellOnEBay.com for the latest podcasts and all the information you need to get selling fast.
So is there a venting way of doing this? Because to me, we have a virtual assistant and stuff like that who is an absolute godsend. I'm telling you, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing without this person. But is there a process to find, like, if I'm on eBay and I'm realizing, okay, listing is my problem, where do I even begin to find someone who can list products on my eBay store?
Sure. So that was kind of my issue, right? I was running this huge company and I realized that I was spending 50% of my time on HR, just posting jobs, going through applicants, doing interviews. If it's an important position, you're doing multiple rounds of interviews. It just takes up a lot of time and you still never really know what you're going to get until they start. So that's why I created FreeeUp. Instead of being a job board where you go in and you post a job and you get a lot of applicants, instead we get hundreds of applicants every week. We have a great interview process based on my 8 years of hiring. We pre-vet them for you. We only let the top 1% into our network. We have 15 pages of communication guidelines our workers have to memorize and get tested on, because you guys both know how important communication is, especially if you're on the other side of the world.
Definitely.
And then we make these workers available to our clients on a first come, first serve basis. So to me, the only solution I could think of was to build the solution. And that's really what I wanted FreeeUp to be, is that one-stop shop for the top 1% of e-commerce workers, whether it's listing, customer service, PPC campaigns, whatever it is.
Yeah, you know what, Nathan, it sounds like on the other side of things, in the Philippines or wherever you're hiring from, I mean, it sounds like you're taking care of them as well. And there's nothing more gratifying than knowing that you're hiring somebody who is grateful for the opportunity. And, like Ali had said about our, VA, Joran, man, she is just amazing for us, man. And she does a really amazing job for us. And so they really work hard. I mean, they're good quality workers, and it's awesome to see that grow. She's a part of our family. I mean, really.
Yeah, I mean, the least rewarding part of running my Amazon business back in the day was it was very secluded. I had me and my team. Yes, I would talk to the manufacturers, but everything was very private. The best part about FreeeUp is not only am I helping clients achieve their dreams and grow their business, but I'm helping this network of 300 plus workers provide for their families and have a good experience as well, and an opportunity where they get to focus on what they like doing, which is the actual work and what they're good at, rather than going and finding jobs and doing interviews all day. So it's really rewarding on both sides, seeing it come together. And whenever you start a company, you never really know how it's going to play out, but the experience has been overwhelmingly positive on both sides.
Wow, I just love that. That's brilliant. So let's talk about, because the people who listen to our show and stuff like that could be starting a business. So you started a business that obviously led to being a very successful business. Now, that's a 4-year process, a lot of problems, a lot of successes, a lot of everything happening in there. What's the way for people to start that process? I mean, what's the difference between someone like you and someone who doesn't make that successful?
Sure. So to me, it's two things. First of all, it's the work ethic and the attitude. I mean, there's so many ups and downs in businesses. You guys know that. I've had extreme ups and terrible downs. But you have to be that mentality that you're just going to work through it. Like there's nothing that's going to stop you. If your entire business stops making money tomorrow, you have to be able to rebound from that and have that mentality that anything's possible. And the second thing is you have to be able to problem solve and make business decisions at a very high level. And a lot of people don't do this correctly because they don't have the right process. And for me, it's simple because I have a logical brain, but for others, they struggle. And I like to teach my internal team how to problem solve because it's just so important for growing your company. Simple things like gathering all the information before you jump into it, making sure you do your research, laying out the different options and the pros and cons of each, and seeing who it actually affects besides just you and the company. And then building a game plan before executing it, and then executing it at a high level using the team and the talent around you to help you with different things. I mean, just a simple example, when I first started FreeeUp a year ago, our software broke and we lost about a week's worth of hours, and our billing period was in 3 days. And it took a team effort of 10 different people to fix this and get the hours back and get it input to the system and contact all the clients and the workers, and I couldn't have done it by myself. So I looked at my team, which I think it was 5 or 10 people at the time, and it was you're good at this, you're good at this, you're good at this. All right, here's a game plan, blah, blah, blah. Let's divide and conquer. Boom, within 24 hours, everything was back running smoothly. And that was something that could have really hurt the company. So you're going to face those decisions, especially early on in the company, and you have to be able to overcome them.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be prepared for things that you can't see ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you never know what's going to come next. I mean, that's kind of the fun of being the entrepreneur, right? Every day is different, opposed to that corporate job.
So how many hours a day you reckon not a day, but let's say an average week? What's your average week of hour time that you're working? And how much golf time are you playing? You know, you're out on the course.
I'm not a golf guy. I'm a baseball guy.
Oh, wow.
In Florida, I can play baseball year round. It's pretty sweet. But yeah, I mean, I probably work 50 hours a week plus. To me, work's fun. I mean, I like doing it. I have a team of assistants that run or that monitor my emails and my Skypes when I'm not there. And a lot of my time is building processes and talking to clients, which I really enjoy. So for me, the mentality of freeing up your time is for me to focus on areas of the business that expands it, not for me to free up my time to go sit at the pool. But there are people that can have that lifestyle business if you choose to, and hire assistants effectively to free up their time to focus on family or whatever it is.
So how many people do you have working for you now, Nathan?
So my Amazon store is about 15 people, more during the busy season. FreeeUp, I have a 20-person internal team, and our network is over 300 workers that are available to our clients.
Unbelievable.
That is incredible, man. And all talents? I mean, anything from web design to just anything?
Everything. I mean, people that build my WordPress site. I have a bookkeeper in the Philippines that's incredible. I would put him against any U.S. bookkeeper. I have 3 assistants that work for me, like morning shift, afternoon shift, and weekend shift that monitor like when I go to the gym and stuff, because you never know when a client issue is going to come up.
Monitor you when you go into the gym. Oh, he's there. No, you can't disturb him. He's doing another bicep workout.
Monitor my Skype.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
And like a whole HR team that they spend all day posting jobs, recruiting, putting people through the interview process. So it really is a team operation. I mean, they bill me hundreds of hours a week. I couldn't do it even if I tried. So I can't stress how important having a good team around you is.
Yeah, definitely, man. It sounds like you got it all under control now. I mean, how long did it take you to get to this point where you feel like, you can actually keep doing this and just multiply this?
Yeah, I mean, you start small. 2 years ago in FreeeUp, which I bootstrapped, it's not like I took money and just dumped it in and it was like, all right, let's hire a 20-person team. It was me and one other assistant part-time, and then I moved her to full-time, and then, all right, the workload's bigger. All right, let's get this. All right, you know what? We now have a marketing budget. Let's hire someone to run Facebook ads part-time. Okay, let's increase their hours. It's very much a gradual thing, and that's what's cool about FreeeUp is you don't have to hire that full-time worker. You can hire a person an hour a month if you want to, or for just that one-time project. So a lot of people think that when they hire someone, they're just committed and they're going to get locked in and they're going to run out of money. But you can do it strategically where you get people to do these small projects for you that really help accelerate your business, get a return on that investment, and then invest back into the company.
So to that point, I mean, about, let's just say we hire somebody that we want them to do our web design and we want them to work on our website. I mean, can we lock them in to make sure that we're going to get that same person if we like them?
Yeah, I mean, at FreeeUp, we never take away your workers. It's first come, first serve. So if you hire them for 5 hours a week, I'm going to be trying to fill their other hours with other clients out of fairness to them. And if you use them for a one-time project and you don't talk to them for 3 months, they may or may not be available when you come back. But that's more of a life thing than a FreeeUp thing. But yeah, I mean, we have clients who hire 5 40-hour-a-week workers ongoing, and they've had the same worker for 2 years. Or we have some clients who do nothing but one-time projects. It's completely up to you how you want to go about it.
It's amazing. I'm loving it. I mean, it's such a great idea because it makes everything so much easier. So let's get back to the reality of things here. So let's talk about failure. Our people like to hear, because obviously this isn't just beautiful, 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 beautiful. That you hit these things. So what's one of the biggest mistakes or one of the biggest lessons that you've sort of learned along the way here?
Sure. So back in college, my business was booming. I had more money. I was making more money than I ever had in my life. Everything was good. I decided to make my first vacation. I hired people. I had a manager so I could walk away from the company for a week and everything was going to be fine. I had one vendor that we were relying on. And I went on the trip. Within 48 hours of being in Myrtle Beach with a bunch of my friends, I got a call from one of my assistants saying that our vendor has decided to part ways with us and will no longer be working with us effective in 1 week. And then 3 hours later, I got another call from my accountant saying that someone had stolen my identity and filed a tax return for $40,000 from the government. And so there was identity fraud. So I went from this like ultimate high to this terrible low, thinking that I just lost.
I think I'd be checking that vendor out, man. Too coincidental, man. He doesn't need you anymore, and he's got all kinds of money. I don't know. I think I'd be checking that out.
That's funny.
I'm not an investigator by any means.
So yeah, I mean, I owe it to me and my team. I mean, my team just stayed so positive. They were like, we're going to get through that. And what we did when we came back is we were like, okay, what did we learn from this? We learned, let's not make the entire company relying on one vendor. So let's diversify, right? So we went to work and we started contacting different vendors, different retailers, different distributors. And within 3 months, the business was not only bigger than it was before, but it was just way more diverse, where if any vendor decided to drop us, obviously it would not be ideal, but the business would still survive. And the diversifying is a lesson that you can take into other aspects of your business as well. For example, if you hire that VA and you teach them to do everything from your emails to your bookkeeping to your listing, and you teach them for 6 months and all of a sudden they quit, well, how do you ever replace that? So it's a much better idea to hire different people, for different skills part-time, so that if anyone leaves, they're very replaceable.
Yeah, I mean, that's such great advice. I mean, it really is. I mean, the thing that a lot of people struggle with, especially, people who are starting out and just getting in all of this sort of stuff, is time management. It's maintaining, keeping focus on this. You talk about your FreeeUp, and that's really awesome once you have the you have the money and you're able to sort of head down that road. But when you're that one-man show, you got to list your product, you got to go source your product, how do you manage your time? Obviously you've got other workers, but your structured time, how do you go about that?
Yeah, if you really want to be an entrepreneur and you really want to grow your company, in that first 6 months, you're just working. That's what you're doing. Your Saturday nights are at the computer sourcing products, because there's a competitor out there that's going to be working harder than you, and you just have to put in the time unless you have other people to do it for you. There's very few people who start a company working 40 hours a week and grow it huge in 6 months. It just doesn't happen. There's too much competition out there. So time management is a huge skill. You really want to be focused on the right things. You want to be focused on sales and marketing and things that expand your company. You want to take advantage of opportunities that come, because in business, they come and go very, very quickly. And really being able to have that personal life, but make business your focus until you get to the point where you can hire other people.
Yeah, that's really cool, man.
It's time for a quick break, but the guys will be right back here on the So You Want to Sell on eBay podcast.
What's more exciting than starting your own eBay empire with one of Auction Pro Template's custom eBay store and listing template packages? How about saving yourself $200 when you do it? That's right. Right now, you can take advantage of starting your own totally custom eBay store for the insanely low price of $697 when you use promo code SAVE200 during checkout at AuctionProTemplates.com. You still get all of the amazing features and benefits as before, like a custom designed eBay store and matching custom eBay listing design, video tutorials, software, custom branding, 1-year free hosting, and so much more. But now you get to save yourself $200 doing it. So celebrate the start of something awesome with $200 in savings when you order your very own custom eBay store and listing template package. Go to AuctionProTemplates.com and check out all of the features and benefits of having a totally custom eBay store, and use promo code SAVE200 today. David Kosciuszko is a guy who went bankrupt twice before the age of 30. He failed in business 3 times, lost everything, and even had to move his family into the basement of his mother's house. After a lot of trial and error, he learned how to buy used phones off Craigslist to sell on eBay. Within 8 months of selling on eBay, he did $250,000 in sales, working off a couch in his mother's basement. Now, he teaches thousands of people around the country his method on how he consistently sells close to $20,000 a month in used phones and electronics on eBay. Get his free ebook now at www.flipphonesforprofit.com.
We're back with more tips, insights, and interviews with Ron and Ali.
So, I want to kind of shift gears just a little bit here. I mean, our listeners are eBay sellers mostly, right? And of all different levels. And just want to talk to them and see what maybe, FreeeUp can do for them. I mean, how can you, as your, virtual assistants, how can they lighten the load, if you will, for someone who has been doing eBay for a while and they're making some progress and they're making some money in a month? I mean, what kind of stuff can you do for them?
Yeah, so here's the cool thing. We work with a lot of eBay clients, and we offer 3 levels of workers. You've got the lower level people. They all have experience. We're not a marketplace for newbies, but they might have 5 years of eBay customer service experience, but the way that you do customer care is different than the way I do customer care, so you're going to have to train them how you want it done. They'll learn quickly, and they're yours. So you can teach them how to optimize a listing, how to list a product the way you want it done. They'll already bring something to the table, so the training will go fast, but that's the lower level. The mid-level people are more specialized. You don't have to train them at all. All they do all day is optimize eBay listings or answer emails, or for Amazon it would be FBA reimbursements. There's a lot of like very specific things they would be able to do. So you can hire someone for a particular skill set and use them just for that, but you wouldn't hire them to run your entire company. Then you've got the eBay experts. They're the people that can audit your business top to bottom. They'll come up with a game plan. They'll do their due diligence and give you a game plan that includes hourly estimates. And if you approve it, they'll start taking your business to the next level because they have that 5, 10, 15 years of eBay experience. So every company's different. It's not really my job to tell you who to hire or when, but we have those 3 levels of workers available to you at any time.
And you did say before the interview, you did say you do partner with eBay, right? I mean, they actually vet out your workers. Talk about that a little bit.
They don't vet out our workers. We have a partnership with eBay. They're constantly sending us clients because we know that they trust you. They know that we can be trusted. But we also have a partnership with them where they also offer exclusive deals to our clients. It's always changing. They partner with different places like Jungle Scout, and they have all these different softwares, and they'll offer like 6 months free trials. 1 month they did like 50 free listings, and they're giving away. So clients that sign up, I put them in contact with our reps at eBay. Because they're a FreeeUp client, they get all these different discounts. So just for signing up, and it's free to sign up, there's no monthly fee. Just shoot me an email once you do. I'm happy to introduce you to our eBay rep, and we really work very well together.
Very cool, man, because I'm sure that's not an easy process to get to be a partner of eBay, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're honored that the experience at FreeeUp has been so positive for people, and that they've gone out of their way to tell reps at eBay and Amazon and Shopify and all these different places about us. And I mean, we want to make them look good, just like they're making us look good. So we take our client experience very seriously. It's not in my best interest to give you a worker that you fire after 2 hours because you hate them. That's not good for you. It's not good for the worker. It's not good for me. And you're under no commitment to keep them. So we're really doing everything we can to get high quality workers into our network that really help your company.
I want 20.
Wow.
I instantly want 20 workers to make my whole life much easier. I love this, man. It's such a great concept. It really is. And it's great that I can see you're really serious about this. There's no mucking about with you. You're chilled. You talk quick. It's great, man. I love it. Let's talk about tools. So what tools do you use just for an average to maintain your average day-to-day sort of business?
So I think I get 1,000 Skype messages a day. I challenge anyone to be faster than me at Skype. I can clear out my Skype account pretty quickly.
The challenge is on.
Yeah. I also use a program called Jira, which a developer of mine recently pointed me to. It's awesome. It's very hard for me to organize developers. I'm really good at hiring, but developers, they speak their own language. It's tough for me to communicate with them. So I've always struggled with that. And Jira has really taken it to a much better, more efficient level. And then a lot of my clients use other tools like Trello and Asana and Slack to manage their workers as well. Although my internal team is pretty organized with the Skype, but I'm sure once that 20-person team grows to 40, we'll probably have to make some kind of upgrade.
And there's a way of tracking them, is there? How many hours they're doing, stuff like that?
Yep, we built our own software. If you go to FreeeUp.com and click log in, you go right into your account. The workers punch in and punch out. You can see all the hours they worked. It adds up how much you're spending per day, per week. It matches the invoice you get every week. Very easy to use, and we take client feedback very seriously. We have 20 pages of updates we're going to be rolling out over the next year, and a lot of it came from workers and clients.
My goodness, man. Yeah, you are the next big deal. I'm telling you, man. It sounds like you got it down to an art there, sir.
Yeah, I mean, in any business, like, make sure the clients are happy. The client might not always be right, but it's in your best interest to make them happy at all times. And the people that listen to their clients and find out what they want are the people that can be successful in the long run.
Man, this is amazing. You're so brilliant at it. I mean, so where are you seeing yourself in a few years? Do you see yourself what's your life going to look like then, you think?
You know, it's funny. When I was running my Amazon store, I was like, this is what I'm going to do the rest of my life. I'm such a good Amazon seller. Like, I'm going to do this for the next 30 years. And then it kind of got old, and I thought of FreeeUp, and that took off. But now I'm at a place with FreeeUp where I'm like, all right, I have these 300 plus workers counting on me. I talk to them every day. They're family. It's great. I love my clients. I meet up with them whenever they're in town. It's going really well, and it's growing. And I really hope that FreeeUp expands. But the truth is I don't know, because if you asked me that question 3 years ago, I definitely would not have said talking to you guys on this podcast about FreeeUp. So I'm not a long-term thinker by any means. Connor, my business partner, is, which is why we partner very well together, or complement each other very well. But for me, I'm very focused on the short term. I know exactly what's going to go on with FreeeUp in the next 3 to 6 months, and I'm incredibly focused on that.
That's pretty cool, and I'm sure that's reassuring for Connor to know that too, right? That there is the future is kind of planned out at least 3 months to 6 months in advance. Yeah, and it's good for both of us. I mean, being only short term isn't that good of a situation either. You need a little bit of both. And the same thing with, I mean, just our skills complement each other. I'm much better at talking on the phone, and I deal with clients, but he'll blow me out of the water writing. I mean, he's writing most of a book that I put together ideas for, but he's a way better writer than I am. So we kind of use each other's skills to the best of our abilities to get the most out of each other.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
That's what you want. You want that teamwork, don't you?
Exactly. There's nothing better than having a good team. You guys know that.
Yeah. I have to put up with Ron, you know.
I have to put up with.
No, we're still live. Are we? We're still on air here.
Yeah. No. Hey, I tell you what, though, man, it's a good partnership here with Ali and I as well, and I see that the same way with you and Connor when you talk about writing and whatever. I mean, Ali is a master at websites, man. He's just incredible. So he does all our websites and things like that. I do some writing and stuff like that, but yeah, it just kind of it works, right? We just play off each other's talents.
So did you ever have any mentorship? That's a common thing we get asked as well. Do you need a mentor? You know, because you have a mindset that's like this. Not everybody has that mindset. So you can go online, you can try to do what you're doing, but you can get lost out there. It's a friggin' maze out there. So did you have someone to point you in the right direction as well when...
Yeah, so when I was in high school, I did an internship at Aaron's, which is kind of like a rent-a-center. And my mom hooked me up with it. The CEO's daughter went to my mom's school. And so I kind of learned under him, and I saw him go about it, the CEO. And I kind of realized how cool being a CEO was, because he could be anywhere. He was running his business from his BlackBerry, and he was really only dealing with high-level stuff, and everyone was kind of reporting to him. So I kind of saw that from the inside. And although I never wanted to go the retail route, although I found myself in online retail, so I guess that's kind of ironic, but it just kind of being around that person that really knows what they're doing at such a high level at such a young age really leaves an impact on you. And there's always different things of how I just approach people, or how you motivate people, or how you talk to someone when they mess up, because you're dealing with real people here. They're bound to make a mistake, and there's a million different ways that you can handle that, and there's the right way and the wrong way. So just learning all that at a young age, I feel like really gave me a big advantage.
Yeah, and you know what? I see you as the kind of boss that I would want to work for. I see you as bringing you mentioned 300 employees. I'm sure they all want to come in and really do a good job for you every day because of the way I'm sure the culture that you provide for them is really cool. I just imagine that to be that way, right?
Yeah, I love our culture. I mean, part of my internal team's job is to check in with everyone pretty consistently and be like, are you liking it here? What are your concerns? What are your feedback? How can we improve? How can we make it better for you? And I mean, that's really what it's all about. At the end of the day, without the workers, I'm nothing. Without the clients, I'm nothing. So you really want to do everything you can to make it a good experience for everyone.
You probably don't have high turnover, do you?
Yeah, I mean, we have about as low turnover as you can get. There's always going to be turnover. There's nothing I can do to make it zero, unfortunately. But with FreeeUp and our clients, we do have a no turnover guarantee. So if our workers quit on you for any reason, we cover all retraining costs. We get you a new worker right away, and we make sure you never take a step backwards for HR reasons. So we have a very low turnover, but it does happen. Like I said, there's nothing I can do to make it 0%, although I'm going to keep trying. And we protect our clients however we can.
Nathan, this is fantastic. I mean, we've run out of time. You're awesome, mate. I mean, you've just got one of those minds. I mean, there isn't a little corner, a little bit of detail that's been left out. It's just been completely thought out and completely, and the thing that I like the most is it's completely been done. You just do the action part, and that's sometimes the hardest part, you know, taking that action and, you know, you come up with a concept, that won't work, and then you sort of stop. But someone like you just go out and there do it. It's been fantastic to have you on the show. I mean, me and Ron have thoroughly, and I know other people will thoroughly enjoy this.
Yeah, thank you guys. And if you're like me and you're in that position where you had never hired before, I encourage you to check out the FreeeUp blog and the online hiring mastermind group. I mean, I've been there. I try to promote content that really helps people hire and hire at a high level and motivate their workers in the same way that I've been able to do. So check that out. Mention this show. You get $1 off your first worker forever. Make sure you use their link. And right on the FreeeUp website, you can actually book a meeting with me. I'd love to talk to you about your business, your needs, and share my advice if you want it.
Awesome. And it is FreeeUp with 3 E's, right?
Yep, 30 stands for eCommerce.
So awesome.
FREEE up.
Exactly.
There's a song there somewhere. I just it hasn't come to me yet. I haven't had enough coffee this morning.
When you think of that jingle, send it over.
I will, man. Do you want me in a skirt as well? You know, I can get dressed up for it if you need, but that might just lose customers that way, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Only if both of you do it together.
Oh, no, it'll never happen, Ron's side. We'll paste all the notes from today's interview on our show notes page, which can be found at www.soyouwannasellonebay.com/show notes. Nathan, before you go, they can obviously go to FreeeUp, but is there any way they can contact you personally? Any Facebook? What's the best way for other methods of contact?
Yeah, so right on the website, like I mentioned, you can book a meeting with me. You can find me on LinkedIn, on Facebook, the FreeeUp page, the online hiring mastermind group, and the FreeeUp blog. We post a lot of great content there, so I'm pretty easy to contact.
Brilliant. Well, I'm sure you are. I'm sure you've made it that way as well, you know. So,
I don't think the guy sleeps, Ali.
Yeah, I don't. He's got like a drip behind him, you know. He's just constantly on the move. Red Bull. So that's fantastic. Also, you can go to soyouwannasellonebay.com/FreeeUp. You can get all the information about that. That will take you straight to what needs to be done. If you also want to be a guest on this show, please contact myself or Ron or our wonderful assistant here, Joran. Thanks from everyone here on the So You Want to Sell on eBay podcast show. I'm Ali Young.
And I'm Ron LeBeau.
That's all for this episode of So You Want to Sell on eBay. Be sure to check out our next episode or any past episodes by going online to soyouwannasellonebay.com. Also, be sure to follow us on your favorite social media sites, facebook.com/So You Want to Sell on eBay, and Twitter @Your eBay Podcast. Thanks for listening. And until next time, happy selling.
Have an idea for a topic or know someone who would like to be on the show? Let us know. Just go to www.soyouwannasellonebay.com/interview. We look forward to hearing from you. This podcast was produced in part by Pro VoiceWorks.